are in the South Loop of Chicago right now, and it is Friday the 13th, so I thought we'd talk about some haunted history here in Chicago. And right where we're launching from the Drone Jam Cam is in the South Loop. And I wanted to talk about the Lexington Hotel, a famed hotel that was built in the late 19th century at the corner of 22nd and Michigan. I believe we have a photo of the old Lexington Hotel, and it was haunted back in the day. And people may remember this hotel as actually where Al Capone held his many residents, held his brothels, held his many meetings that happened in the Soldier Knights of Chicago gangster lore. And it's in fact the hotel that Geraldo Rivera opened the vault in on live TV, famously finding not much. So what's at the site of the old Lexington, which came down in the late 1980s? Right now, it's around the area of the South Loop Wintrust Business Center, or the Wintrust the new Wintrust Arena. That's where that's over there. Also some new business developments in the South Loop. If you're taking a look at the Drone Jam Cam, you can see the new area, certainly way different than it looked back in Al Capone's days and the old history there. Again, the Lexington Hotel was 10 stories tall, 2135 South Michigan. Again, built in 1892 as part of the Columbian Exposition. The entire area has undergone a complete renovation. But again, it was the mystery of Al Capone's vaults that received 30 million viewers that day in 1986. So it was Capone's Castle, they also called it. Later named the New Michigan Hotel, and it functioned as a brothel. It had over 400 rooms, and the hotel closed down in 1980. As you can see, the whole South Loop is completely different than it used to be, and the South Loop completely gone under more revitalization. We've seen triple the number of people that live there compared to the 90s with all these new high-rises going up. It will continue to rise, but it's always fun to take a look back at Chicago's history, and especially the haunted history of Chicago on Friday the 13th. And
apparently John's somewhere out there, Asia.
Okay.
Do you see John dressed? You know the Where's Waldo game,
Yeah.
right? Do you see John anywhere on there? Dressed as Waldo. John, come on, where are you? Give us a hint.
Yeah, can we get a
I would say look Lakeshore Drive, think construction. Lakeshore Drive, construction.
Oh, I see him.
there we
You
go.
see John right there? There's little John. Can we make
You
John
see
bigger
me?
right there?
Yeah, you found me.
We caught him. There he
Found
is,
you.
everybody.
And everyone-
John, that's a sneaky hide spot
By the
right
way, I
there.
gotta
How's
say,
Lakeshore looking? How's the traffic?
Yeah, well, by the way, as I'm out here on Lakeshore Drive, people have been honking and yelling out the window, there's Waldo! So not only do the viewers at home get to see me, but everyone heading northbound on Lakeshore Drive gets to see me too. That was fun. I love Where's Waldo. Back to you guys. Even though it's July 13th, right? So, you know, we're still in the midst of the middle of the summer. Everyone's thinking about the Cubbies, the White Sox, of course. It's never too early to start thinking about football season because it really is not that far away. So we're here in the South Loop. We thought, what the heck? Let's take a look at Soldier Field, of course, here in Chicago on the South Loop. Soldier Field looking really good as they get ready for the season. And believe me, it is coming up way quicker than you even realize, because training camp for the Bears, get this, is 8 days away. Can you believe that? In 8 days, they will open up their training camp in Bourbonnais at the Nazareth Academy down about 100 miles south of the Chicago area. And just after that, I mean, it's really not too far away. We are less than 3 weeks away from the Hall of Fame game. So the preseason debut of Matt Nagy as head coach of the Bears. And that's going to be happening on August 2nd against the Baltimore Ravens. Less than 3 weeks away till Chicago Bears football. They got 5 preseason games, and then we are about 57 days away. That's it from the home opener, the opener against the Green Bay Packers. What better way to start the Bears season than getting blown out by the Green Bay Packers, which I'm sure is what's going to happen. As you can tell, I'm a little bit skeptical of what's going to be happening with the Bears this year. But yeah, I got to say, when the Bears are already there again, we got baseball, we got a long way to go for the Cubs and White Sox, but it's crazy to already be thinking about Bears football. So here's my thing, Jordan. I think the Bears are going to improve on last year. I think they're going to end up at about 7-9 as they build in that new offense, some learning curve difficulties as well, of course, as they start the new offense. But I think they'll get in a groove by the middle of the season and the end of the season, and they'll pull out 7 wins, obviously missing the division championship and missing the playoffs. But Jordan, I want to know, how many Bears, out of 16 games, how many of the Bears going to win this season?
John, I have never known you in all my time to be a pessimist. Talking about getting blown out by Green Bay week 1. Flip your record from losses to wins and wins to losses. I think they go 9-7 this year.
All right, 9-7. Okay, we'll see what happens. We'll make a bet on it, Jordan.
Yeah, I think I still owe you from last bet, so we got to figure all that out. I promise to get that done, John. I promise.